What I learned is that I did not need motivation. What I needed was systems. And in this video, I want to talk about how I stayed consistent for over a year while being a full-time working mother, a first-time mother, and breastfeeding. And when it comes to breastfeeding, if you know, you know, that's a full-time job. The bulk of my weight loss took place within the first 3 months of me being consistent. It just continued to fall off, but the bulk fell off within 3 months, and I'm gonna show pictures. And there were many times where the journey was difficult. Me working night shift, working an hour away from home, breastfeeding, being a first-time mom. As you guys know, I do have a daughter, but my son is my first time actually having a baby. My daughter is my bonus child. And I did have a fitness routine prior to having my son, but what I learned is that time works very differently after you have kids. And to add on my health and fitness routine on top of being a first-time mother and breastfeeding, that felt like an additional full-time job. But then I soon learned that consistency isn't about showing up perfectly. It's about just showing up and doing something. Me remaining consistent and showing up and doing something, the weight just kept falling off. And in this video, I'm gonna talk to y'all about that. Hello, my name is Derica Sky and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, hey boo, hey, how y'all doing? And if you've been here, you know I'm a clown. Welcome back. My first tip is start small and build. Y'all know I talk about this all the time. Everyone wants to start their health and fitness journey and just dive in there. We don't need to dive, y'all. We don't need to dive. And I'm talking to a younger version of me. I'm talking to a version of me in the past right now as well. I just wanted to we don't need to start our health and fitness journey with piling a bunch of different expectations on yourself, because what that does for me, when I create too much too soon, I am less likely to show up. I get overwhelmed and I feel like I need a certain amount of time in order to achieve. When I started or restarted my journey postpartum, I started small. I started with 10 to 15 minute walks. That is where it started. I wasn't even meal prepping yet. Meal prepping came further along the line. But the thing was that I wanted to change small things, and I started with walking. So those 10-minute walks eventually became 15-minute walks. 15 minutes became 20 minutes. 20 minutes became 30 minutes. 30 minutes became 1 hour. I just noticed that typically when I start, I usually have more time than what I think that I have. Me doing these walks, I noticed that over time, I'm able to increase. The one piece of advice that I would give is start with one habit and focus on that before you start piling on other habits. So my pillars are nutrition, eating whole foods, walking, moving your body, getting 8 hours of restful sleep, hydration, and then stress. Those are the main things that I focus on. My advice is to pick one and to do very well at that one before you start to add on other things. So for me, it started with the 10-minute walks in between my shifts, or even on my off days, the walks. And then I started to focus on my nutrition. So then I started to meal prep. Even as far as me working out and being someone who's used to lifting weights and stuff, I didn't even go back to the gym right away. I started walking. I purchased me a walking pad. I put my walking pad in my basement and I walk on that. I didn't even because the time that I started my journey, it was January. So it was cold and it was snowing. So I lost the bulk of my weight on my walking pad. It was harder for me to find time to go to the gym than it was for me to walk. So I think that's the reason why I was focusing on walking. So what that looked like for me was me walking while my son would go down for his naps. That looks like me walking in between my shifts, me walking at work, because I would actually walk my unit at work to get my steps up. And then also me walking outside with my son. Once it became warmer outside, I was able to walk outside with the kids. So I didn't need a sitter for that. And then also me walking, I would get up at 5 in the morning and will walk before the rest of my household is up. If I can get up at 4 or 5 in the morning to pump, then I can get up to walk. So yeah, that is where we started. The next thing I want to talk about, or my second tip, is set realistic goals. Y'all, we not losing 90 pounds in one day. We not. Like you just doing the habits and I'm doing the things, and then it just kept falling off because I kept doing the things. But I didn't lose this weight overnight. I did lose the bulk of the weight over 3 months, but the whole 90 pounds total, that took like a year. It took time. Like, your body goes through stages, so that took time. Plus, I was breastfeeding at the beginning of, like, if I started it in January, I want to say the consistency. I started it in January, and I know by April, for sure by April, I was like, my core was like lean. I didn't lose weight overnight. I had to give my body time. And I wasn't super fixated on weight loss. My goal was, I want to decrease my cholesterol. I want to get my blood pressure back regulated. So because that was my focus, I ate and I moved my body according to that. Instead of me focusing on losing 20 pounds in 1 month, I aimed for drinking more water, making sure I'm drinking 3 liters of water a day. I aimed for moving my body and increasing my steps. I paid attention to, or was more mindful of, me increasing my vegetables and my fruit intake, and me sleeping 8 hours at night, and me managing my stress. And if I'm feeling like I'm on autopilot, I'm doing things to ground myself, which is like reading books or meditating, going outside for a walk, like they're playing with the kids, spending time with my husband. Like, these things are like, that keeps me level-headed. I'm saying all of that to say this. I didn't focus on losing weight. The weight was a byproduct of the things that I was doing and the habits that I was doing. Yeah, I was losing the weight, and I was happy about losing the weight, and I am happy about losing the weight, but it wasn't my focus. And even to this day, I don't focus on weight loss. Like, I just move my body. I focus on showing up for my habits because they make me feel good. Like, I have more energy. I feel better. My gut feels good. Like, these are different things that are happening as a result of the way that I show up in my life. So that's my focus. It's not necessarily weight loss. Like, I did not mean to lose that much weight. I didn't mean to lose 90 pounds. I keep telling you, I told people that. I'm like, hey, I actually had to bulk up a little bit, baby. Y'all seen me in the gym, baby. Y'all seen me in the gym. I had to bulk up a little bit because I lost too much weight. I'm like, whoa, if I get down into the 150s, I'm 5'9", honey. I don't need to be in the 150s. Not me. Not when I need booty and thighs and hips and shapes. I don't need to be in the 150s. I actually had to slow down on my walks. I'm just now starting back up on my walks at the same rate that I was before. But I had to slow down because, baby, I was losing too much weight. But as a result of me focusing on my blood pressure, cholesterol, me focusing on showing up for these habits, I think that's why I feel that my weight loss journey was effortless. Because in the past, I felt like I worked so hard to lose weight, and it's because that's what the goal was. And not to say that the goal is not weight loss, because it is. Like, you're going to lose weight. You're going to lose weight, but I didn't focus on that. And in the past, I did focus on that, and I felt stressed out and like tripping. If I didn't lose the weight or if I didn't accomplish my weight loss goals, I was like mad as hell. I was mad because I'm like, yo, I'm doing all of these things. Why am I not losing weight? Why am I plateauing? I don't even pay attention or focus on that now. I don't even go on a scale for real. What I care about is me moving my body. What I care about is my energy levels. What I care about is how I feel. I want to feel great. I like feeling confident. Like, it's deeper. It's deeper than just weight loss, okay? And my third tip, because I've been talking a lot about routine lately, is make it a part of your routine, because that is what I do. I make these habits a part of my routine. My habits are non-negotiable. Like, it's like brushing my teeth and washing my butt, okay? I made these habits a part of my identity. I identify with someone who is healthy. So therefore, I show up as such. I show up as somebody who is healthy, who takes care of themselves, who put into their health and fitness journey, eat whole foods. I'm someone who cares about their sleep. I am someone who gets adequate sleep. I am someone who cares about what their body consumes. I am someone who is a walker. I identify with being a walker. If you make something a part of your identity, you are more likely to show up as her, he, her, she, him, okay? And it's because it's a part of who you are. We got to take a water break, honey. I'm sipping on lime water. You know how we do. So then tip number 4 is I track my progress and I don't aim for perfection. If I'm being honest, I barely look at the scale, and it's because I focus more on how my body actually feels. I focus on how I look and feel in my clothes. If I can give you one piece of solid advice, is take the pictures. It's a whole journey where I have a gap of photos because I didn't take pictures, especially postpartum. So like the photos that I show y'all, or it's after I've already started losing weight. I don't really have any photos of when I was my heaviest. It is because I avoided the cameras. Take the pictures. If I could do it all over again, I would take all of the pictures because it really truly shows you where you came from. And you can't solely rely on the scale because the scale, especially if you lift weight, just being a woman, period, our water weight, our bodies fluctuate depending on, we go through 4 different phases or cycle phases a month. And depending on what phase you're in, your hormones can cause you to retain water weight and to lose water weight. So our weight is going to fluctuate. It's not a good inflammation. If you eat in dairy, certain carbs, all of that can cause your body to retain weight. So it's just not accurate looking at the scale. And then if you actually lift weights and you're gaining muscle weighs more than fat. So you can potentially be the same weight because muscle is leaner than fat. Photos show you details of your progress. Photos going to show you, oh, you got that cut here, you got that new cut there, or you have like this area in your back where it's less, it's leaner than what it was. Like photos are just going to give you a more detailed look of how much your body is actually progressing on the outside. Since I'm doing YouTube, I'm pretty much always in front of a camera. So I just have a lot. I have a lot of footage because I'm always in front of a camera, but y'all take them progress photos. And the last one is to give yourself grace, aka me talking to a younger version of myself. If I miss a workout or if I miss a walk, I don't beat myself up. If I end up eating fast food for a day, I'm not about to beat myself up about it. I'm just going to get back on track the following day. I don't even put that pressure on myself to do all of these habits all of the time because I know life is going to life. So I extend myself grace when I don't feel like it, or I extend myself grace when I'm going through something and I just don't feel like showing up for the habits. I know I'm going to get back to it because I'm disciplined and this is a part of my lifestyle and I identify with these things. So I know I'm going to get back to it. But when I do fall off, or if I do kind of slip away from my routine, I'm not going to stay there long, and I'm going to give myself that grace. So again, I don't put the pressure on myself or have the expectation of cooking 7 days a week. I cook 3 or 4 days a week. And when I do cook, it's going to be easy. I like to cook easy meals. But don't get it twisted, baby, because let me tell you something. This one right here, she cooked like her ancestors. When it comes to just on the regular day, we are meal prepping, or if we're cooking dinner for the family, it's going to be a simple meal. But I can throw down like it's Thanksgiving on any given day. I try to make my health and fitness journey as simple and easy as possible so I can continue to show up. As y'all know, some of my habits are when I go to the grocery store, I wash my fruits and vegetables on the day that I went to the grocery store because I like for them to already be clean. We are more likely to eat them. Then I also make one big salad for the week. Sometimes it be 2 salads. It depends on who all pulling from it. But making that salad, like when I'm done filming this video, I'm about to go and make me a salad because it's already prepped. All I got to do is separate it. I like to make one big salad and pull from that throughout the week so that I have something that is readily available in my refrigerator at all times. When I do not have something that is readily available, I am more likely to go and buy food when I am hungry. And I'd rather just make my life simple and easy. When I am unable to show up for these things, it doesn't start my progress over. If you watch my channel, you know what's been going on with me. So even more so recently with me having to put myself on bed rest and ended up having emergency surgery because I was carrying an ectopic pregnancy. And then after that, having a really, really bad ear infection, I still went right back to my habits. As soon as I felt optimal and felt like I was able to do it, I went right back to my habits prior to all of these things taking place. You are not lazy. You just trying to do too much too fast. And me talking to my older version of myself, I wasn't lazy. I was trying to do too much too fast, and I was piling on too many things that I never showed up for because I felt like I didn't have enough time to do them. I don't know about y'all, but when I put too much on my plate, I am more likely to throw the whole thing away, and I'm never going to start the journey because I feel overwhelmed and I feel that I don't have enough time to do it. And these are false beliefs that I've told myself in the past. Consistency isn't about doing the same thing or doing these habits every single day. It's about not quitting. It's about you knowing when it's time to go back into that routine or to go back into those habits that ultimately is going to get you to your goals. So I want to know down below, what is one habit that you plan to stay consistent with this week? Let me know down in the comment. And don't forget to subscribe for more realistic, sustainable health tips. I'm going to see y'all again soon. Hey.